Hope you're ready. It's time for Decentralize Now.
Do you want to start? You want me to start? How do you want to start this episode?
Well, I'd like the intro music to be Typo Negative song Kill All the White People, which I think is a very interesting title and reflection of our times.
Is that really one of their fucking songs?
Yeah, they were ambiguously neo-Nazi. I think they did that on purpose. I think they, it's like Kill All the White People would be like, oh, well, there can't be Nazis because the song's called Kill All the White People.
Free the people, free the markets. Decentralize Now.
Season 2.
Yeah, the way it's written, I don't know. It's shrouded in mystery. Very mysterious band. No, we don't have to include any of this shit. I'm just being stupid.
The song "Kill All White People" it's shrouded in mystery.
What could it be about?
No one knows what it's about.
I've got this song
I have
called
a fucking suggestion about what it could be about. No.
I wrote this song called "My Boss is a Douchebag." It's a mysterious, amorphous metaphor.
James,
society.
can I see you in my office, please? What's this song I've seen pop up in my my Facebook feed? My boss is a fucking cunt. Oh, that wasn't me. It's on your page. You're clearly singing it. It's about someone else.
Oh man, yeah. So you said you had a lot of shit to talk about. I mean, it's old news now, but we talked about in the Blackball podcast. If you're first, you know what? I think we should pump our show in the podcast. We don't really tell people to subscribe. Maybe it's because we're really libertarian and we don't want to tell people what to do. But we were on the Blackball podcast again not too long ago. It was our second time on, and the guy was dropping, hey, comment, subscribe, blah blah blah. We don't really do that, so I don't know. How do we do that? How should we convince people listening to this to subscribe to our podcast?
How do we convince them? Oh, hopefully we don't have to convince them. I mean, this is episode 20-3. So hopefully they're convinced by now.
So you listen, subscribe on Breaker and Facebook and all that shit. There's also a podcast that we've been on frequently called the Blackballed Podcast with a guy named Pierce. And the day we were on that, I actually watched the State of the Union. So all of my fresh State of the Union shit, I said there. But I'd like to talk about it on our podcast. Do you mind?
Yeah, please. Let's do it.
So there's a few things. Number one, and another podcast I like called The Right Stuff. They've already memed it. Donald Trump called California a sanctuary state. He's trying to refer to it as a sanctuary state.
That is fucking hysterical.
He was nervous. And he does this little move of America. And this is him not trying to be offensive. California, what they're doing in California is terrible. It's a sanctuary state. And he fucking tripped. You don't see Donald Trump nervous. He's always, when he's talking, he's always just shooting the shit and very in his element. During the State of the Union address, he didn't seem in his element. He seemed very reserved, very calculated, and almost nervous for a second, which was very, very strange for me to see him. But yeah, he called California a sanctuary state. Also, he kept saying some shit that I really liked. Now, the State of the Union address, from my perspective, it wasn't as quotable as previous ones. Like the fucking year when he went out and said America will never be a socialist country, and then it zoomed into Bernie Sanders. That's some great shit. That's some great shit. You know what I mean?
I remember that.
Awesome.
I remember that.
This is really cool. I mean, I'm not, but sometimes he says shit that's yes. And it's not like I like Donald Trump. It's just that I really hate Nancy Pelosi. I really fucking hate Democrats, and I like it when they're sad. And Donald Trump does that. He makes them sad. And I think that's why people in libertarian circles might not like Trump, but at the same time, you really it's almost like looking at someone, you're not sure if they're hot or not. You're feeling weird emotions. It's I don't like Trump, but it makes Democrats sad. That's great. I don't really know how I feel about this. He said something like, no child should ever be forced to have to suffer in a failing public school. And Nancy Pelosi in the background is like, she's got hemorrhoids or something. She's like shifting from side to side. She is so fucking pissed. He said some shit about God, like we're going back to like the Reagan era or something. In America, we lift our voices to God in prayer. And her eyes got so fucking big, and she leaned fucking forward like she couldn't fucking hold it in.
Yeah,
and,
they don't. I mean, like, I'm not religious myself, but it's insane to see how like Democrats get upset when you start talking about God and religion and shit. In fact, they don't like they get all fucking nervous and twitchy.
Do you remember when that was a big issue? Maybe it still is in your state. Where I live, like, you never hear about that in politics. But in the Bush 2 era, at least, like, God was all you heard about. The war on Christmas and da-da-da-da, and it was this big marriage between a man and a woman because of the Bible and blah, blah, blah. I don't feel like we really have Bible discussions in politics anymore. Maybe that's just where I live, but do you find that at all?
I don't know. In my state, like, definitely the local politicians, you know, people running for you know, a house seat and shit like that, you know, people running for the districts, they always reference, you know, they all have like a really heavy southern accent too. Like, I don't know if it's genuine, but they all fucking have it. I was born on a farm and we had cows, and I used to suck the milk out of that cow's tit every fucking morning because this is America and I fear God and I love God and I'm not going to take your guns. America, vote for me.
So, I mean, again, I don't like I feel liberated from that shit. I didn't like that as a young person. I didn't like the conservative Christian right, and that's what put me away from it. So I'm not championing Trump saying America lifts their voices to God. No, that's not fucking true. There are many gods and people don't have gods. But it made Nancy Pelosi pissed, and that was fucking great.
And that's always good. That's always like that's what I'm saying, dude. Like, I know it sounds so childish and shit, but I mean, just. I swear to God, that's got to be turning people out of the fucking Democratic Party. I feel like I've seen more like Black American conservatives than I ever have before in my life. You know what I mean?
But here's the thing: did you feel like that whole thing was calculated? Like, it was like, you know what? I want to just recognize, you know, yet another Black Republican. Why don't you stand up, Bill? Good job, Bill. Just like kind of shoving it in the Democrats' face, like, hey, he's a Republican. He likes me. He's black. You think it was done for the purposes of propaganda?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing. I mean, it was very game showy. It was like America Tonight, featuring your MC Donald Trump. There was this whole like.
Well, that's kind of what politics has become, right?
Well, yeah, and in that
Tune in
sense,
next week.
Yeah, exactly. It's a soap opera. So in that sense, Donald Trump's the ultimate politician. He's just unhinged. Like, he's not restrained. He's not fake. He's like. He's not fake because he's fake. He's like, yeah, I'm a showman. That's what I do. And he's going up there and, you know, he even said the words, come on down. Okay, there was a woman and she was there with her kids, and they're like, her husband was in Iraq or some shit.
Come on down.
Like,
and,
well, then we have a very special guest. We have a very special guest for them. All the way back, it's their father coming back. Come on down, Bill. Come on down. And everybody clap. Yeah. But it's like, come on down.
I saw the highlight of that, yeah.
It's like, underneath your seats are 2 tickets to Disney World.
You're going to Disney World, and you're going to Disney World. Not you, Pelosi. You sit the fuck down. You're not going anywhere.
She gets slimed. She get gacked.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Oh, man. But no, the whole thing, when she fucking ripped that paper, I couldn't believe it. And it was kind of... Go ahead.
The memes that have come out of that are fucking great.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God, Nancy, that was the only copy we had. What are we going to do now?
The spell is broken.
Yeah.
Trump is finally defeated. You have returned. You have destroyed the scroll of MAGA. No, but it's like, I don't know. I don't feel like that turned people on. Do you think Democrats were really like, yeah, Nancy, get him?
I don't... Probably because stupid. I feel like... And I mean, I'm not saying Republicans aren't guilty of this as well, but they probably did cheer it on just because... Oh, that's Nancy Pelosi. She represents our party. We're incapable of doing wrong, so let's all have each other's backs. Personally, what I saw was a brat. She looked like a fucking brat throwing a fucking fit. It looked like what is she, like 79 or some shit? Looked like a
She's
fucking
like
80-year-old woman throwing a tantrum to me, personally.
It wasn't a good look. It didn't look like all of her shit about being like Trump isn't mentally stable. You remember they were doing that? A psychoanalysis of Donald Trump. Is he fit to be president? And then she's gonna do that kind of shit on television? Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit.
Didn't he didn't shake her hand though, didn't he? Didn't he fucking
He did
she put her
not.
hand
He
out?
turned right the
he was
fuck
like
around.
fuck you, bitch, which I mean like the audacity of this fucking woman, you know what I mean? Hey, I've been saying I'm going to impeach you since you got in office, and we fucking tried, and it failed miserably. No hard feelings. Like, fuck you. You know what I mean?
Just take my speech and sit the fuck down.
But I don't know. I guess I'm trying to be non-biased about the situation, but I don't see that. Like, I see the ripping as the paper as a bratty move. I see, like, not shaking someone's hand that's been dragging your name through the mud for, like, the last fucking year. I don't see, you know what I mean? That seems understandable.
Yeah, that's for sure. It was so, and then she like made a big deal out of it. Like, you know, she made all these exaggerated, like, oh my god, you shouldn't shake my hand. I mean, I guess this is what our democracy's come to.
I feel like she kind of knew that was going to happen. You know what I mean?
It was a staged moment.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that you know, the Trump campaign, maybe, I don't know if they knew about it, but right as soon as Pelosi ripped up the speech, they were coming on, his aides and his advisors are going on Fox News being like, when she ripped up that speech, I mean, she ripped up that little boy who got to see his father come home from Iraq, and she ripped up that little baby who was saved from abortion or some shit like that. You know what I mean? So they put all that happy-go-lucky nice shit so that you couldn't be against it.
Well,
so when the Democrats were sitting down,
I mean, if they were really saying that, that's a fucking retarded statement. She didn't tear up those things. She didn't tear up, you know.
Exactly.
I don't see it as like her shitting on the Constitution. I literally just see it as her throwing a fucking tantrum. Like, I don't like what this says. I'm gonna rip it. You know, I still think it was just a bratty move. I can't say that it was that extreme. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well,
she didn't go snatch the kid away from the fucking father or anything. Like, fuck you!
Well,
that would have been great. Like, how much would you pay to see Donald Trump walk up to Pelosi and just go, Pelosi, you're fired?
Oh man! Oh my god!
The Apprentice, politician edition.
Well, it
good to see
like
you again,
that.
Nancy.
I guess that was it. It was kind of depressing to see it so theatrical, because Donald Trump's doing his thing and he's bringing all these very special people, the great, wonderful people, and it's you know, the same shit he did on The Apprentice, and then to see Pelosi doing shit like that, and you know, then they started sitting up, the people in white shirts started standing up, shouting shit at Donald Trump, and you know, they're all rolling their eyes, and it was kind of depressing to see. I don't remember, maybe I wasn't aware of older State of the Union addresses, but it doesn't seem like they've always been that tense, I guess. You know what I mean?
I don't know if tense is how I would describe it, really. I guess maybe a little tense. I mean, it's got to be somewhat, you know, scary to have that fucking mummy standing behind you, staring at the back of your head. That's got to be a little creepy. Got to throw you off your game. But I think the whole, like you said, it's just it's a soap opera now. I don't know if I describe it as tense as much as, like, I think theatrical was a much better way to put it. And I don't know, like, what are we coming to? You know, like, I know that's kind of like, oh, what is the world coming to? But, like, really, what is it coming to? You know, if politicians are going to sit behind each other and roll eyes and rip up papers and throw little tantrums and demand, you know, we're going to impeach this guy as soon as he gets into office, you know. This is a mockery of the political system anyway.
Absolutely.
I don't know where I'm getting with this, but it's just
sacrilegious.
What's the point? What's the point in any of this shit anymore? Like, obviously nothing's going to get done. Everything is done out of spite for the other team. I mean, no, obviously they're not doing anything with us in mind. Like, how did President Trump talking to the president of Ukraine, How did any of that affect just me and you as Americans? It didn't.
Didn't at all.
So why did we waste all this time and money trying to impeach this guy over nothing? When, that money could have obviously been spent other places. I mean, it's all stolen money to begin with, but definitely that money could have gone to doing much better in the country than bitching about a phone call. I don't know. I just think it's all a sham. It's like a reality show. It's a reality show. I just keep repeating the same shit.
Well, that's the thing is, like, they've been doing this shit for a long time, and they knew it wasn't going to go through. So they've taken all their money for a fucking thing they knew wasn't going to happen. They should have taken that time to maybe reach out to younger voters or expand the party or, God forbid, help poor people. Like they say they're always helping poor people, but they don't fucking do that. But instead they just used it to spearhead a doomed Titanic, campaign against Donald Trump, just to, I don't know, give him the middle finger. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah, nothing was accomplished. I think, if anything, I hope that this has really hurt the Democratic Party, but I never underestimate people's stupidness.
I don't think young people... Donald Trump is not the edgy, cool chaos candidate like he was in 2016. Which is, makes sense. I mean, now he's established, man. He's been the fucking president for a couple of years. But I don't think people looked at Nancy Pelosi and were like, whoa, bro, took that Trump picture, just ripped it in half. Like, she didn't give a fuck. That's badass. I don't think anybody's impressed by that shit at all.
No.
If anything, it was like Richie. Go ahead.
Like, besides me and you and, like, a handful of other people, like, I don't even know anybody... And this is people that support Trump, people that hate Trump. I don't know anybody that really tuned in to the impeachment hearings. I don't know anybody that really watched the State of the Union. I think everyone's just kind of sick of this shit.
They know it's all bullshit.
I think, to some degree, like you said, he's not the chaos candidate of 2016 either. I think people may be getting a little sick of that shit too.
I had one guy comment on my Facebook page. I'm just so, ready for post-Trump life, because I mean it is. He changed the game, and it's all about emotion. Maybe it was always like that, but it's just obnoxious. It's fucking obnoxious. But it's all just a show. Nothing's getting done. Nothing of it fucking matters, anyways. But
it's different too, because I mean, what do you really know about a politician? What do you really know about a guy that's running for president? Okay, Biden was vice president. Does anyone really know anything about Biden besides that? Does anyone really know anything about Elizabeth Warren or any of these fucking people? Like the average person. Does anyone really know anything about any of these candidates before they're thrown in the limelight and then they start telling, CNN what to say about them? No one knows who these people are. Donald Trump was different. Everyone knows who fucking Donald Trump is. He's been in fucking movies and shit and magazines.
Yes.
He's been, famous and popular in that sense since the 70s, fucking 80s for sure. Everyone knew who he was before he ran for president. So it's not surprising that he gets 10 times more scrutiny and 10 times more hatred and people blindly hating him for assumptions that were made 20 years ago.
Right.
It's not the same. Maybe that's a bad thing. I don't know. Maybe.
No, I think that's exactly it. I have my eye on this Bloomberg guy. I don't know what's going to happen with that, because again, no one gives a fuck about Bloomberg, but he spent a lot of money on YouTube.
He's got the money.
I can't fucking watch a YouTube. I just pulled up Metallica and all, but it's like It was John Mellencamp telling me about how Michael Bloomberg couldn't be bought. Yeah, John Mellencamp.
Jesus,
get the fuck out of here, Cougar.
John Mellencamp? Are you serious?
Yeah, no.
John Mellencamp. I made a living off of people that are very southern buying my CDs, and now I want to take your guns away.
That was the ad. Mellencamp was like, Michael Bloomberg is a guy who can't be bought. Now think about that. A politician who can't be, but it wasn't convincing.
Who the fuck bought Donald Trump?
Oh yeah, how much did they fucking pay John Mellencamp to say that? Do you think he did that for free? I don't know the last time
somebody bought. Not me. They paid me a lot of money to do this.
What's he's playing?
Hurts so
That's what
good. Come on now.
That's what they're gonna play during the gun confiscations.
Yeah.
Hurts so
Come
good.
on, Bloomberg, make it hurt so good. Take my guns and I don't know.
God,
You're the lyrical genius here.
Nah. No, I wanted to just, at least for the purposes of posterity, say some shit about the State of the Union.
What kind of crazy things will our heroes talk about next? Stay tuned to find out.
Oh, we gotta talk about Rush Limbaugh too. I know we already talked about you and I, but dear listener, Rush Limbaugh won the fucking Presidential Medal of Peace or Medal of Honor, and it creeps me out because I don't think he deserved it. I'm sad that he has cancer, and that's unfortunate. I don't think this guy deserved like the Presidential Honor Medal of Peace. I don't know. There's no doctor out there like handing out antidotes or some shit like Rush Limbaugh.
You know, I listen to like conservative radio and shit, right?
What were people freaking out about it?
Oh my god, dude, they were sucking all over this fucking Rush Limbaugh's dick about this shit, dude. They're just like one guy, I don't remember what fucking show it was. It might have been like the Glenn Beck show. And for the fucking record, I fucking hate Glenn Beck. I fucking hate this man. He's a fucking moron. Like, I hate Glenn Beck as much as I hate Bill O'Reilly, which is really funny because every time I have to go through like in a gated community or something, you know, like anywhere where they want to know your name or like write something down. I always say my name's Bill O'Reilly, and no one picks up on it. I think it's hilarious. But no, I think it was Glenn Beck show. And he's fucking talking about this. And he's like, you know, Trump, you know, he called Rush up there to give him the award. And, you know, I think what I saw on stage was two friends. It was two friends. It was Donald Trump paying tribute to an old friend. You know, they're a lot alike. They get a lot of controversy. They've been in politics for a long time. I'm like, well, that's not even fucking true. But like, you know, he's just talking about like, oh, these were just two friends. Trump was just doing Rush Limbaugh a solid. You know, like I'm just, what the fuck? Like, who cares? Who fucking cares? It sucks that he has like, cancer and shit. I mean, that sucks. That sucks when anyone gets cancer. Cancer sucks. Right. And, like, his is pretty bad off, apparently. But, oh my god, what else were they saying on another show? He's done more for talk radio than anyone in my life. There wouldn't be talk radio if there hadn't been Rush Limbaugh. Like, I don't think that's right.
And again, like, is that like the greatest? Like, we needed to give him a medal for talk radio.
Yeah. Oh my god, this guy talks shit about the Democrats. You should meet my crazy uncle Jeffrey. He does that every Christmas.
Exactly. Like Limbaugh and Trump did this weird like move. I can't show it to you. Basically, like ball your hand to a fist, and then let the palm of your fist go like towards your face, and then lift your hand up and down, like almost in a. You know, like you're pulling a chain or something.
Like almost like you're like a fist bump to a handshake, but you don't open your hand or something.
It's like an upward fist bump. Like, you know when you do the fist bump,
like you're doing like a jerk off motion. What the fuck?
Well, no, you're getting close to it. It's hard to describe this. Like, not the jerk off, dude. No, like the hand. Like, imagine you're doing a fist bump, like you're gonna bump another guy's hand for a fist bump. Okay, but now.
Why does it have to be a guy?
Well, it could be a woman. Dude, Sam Hyde has this really good gay skit. I like it. Yo, what, you like pussy? Dude, that's gay, son.
His shit's pretty funny, man. I like
Sam Hyde's amazing. Oh man. But yeah, what's up with Glenn Beck, man? Why don't you like Glenn?
Why don't I like him?
Yeah, like why don't you like Glenn Beck?
He's just obnoxious. Like everything. Like, look at his fat little fucking face and shit. Like, just don't fucking like him. I just can't stand him. He's one of those Republicans that's just like way too into it. He's way too Christian. Like, that's the same reason I hate Bill O'Reilly. He's like, you know, people want to deny the existence of God. This is a fucking like real quote of his. Like, it's not verbatim, but he's like, people want to deny the existence of God. Well, anybody who doesn't believe in God, I have a question for you. How's the sun come up every morning? How do the tides change? I'm like, those are very easy questions to answer.
Fucking ICP magnets. How do they work? Do you get that reference? Did you get that? Do you know that song?
I don't know that song.
There's the
ICP.
Song. ICP came out with a song called "Miracles," and it's about how God exists.
Yeah.
And there's that
I've heard,
fucking
I've heard that.
okay. Dude, I want to listen to that. I haven't listened to that song. ICP fans are very unusual. I think that's like a big understatement.
I'll beat you in the face with a hammer and then pray over your dying body.
Oh man, people who like ICP. There are a lot of ICP fans in the South. I grew up with a family.
Oh, I had friends that were all into them.
Yeah. Did you ever get into that shit? Did you like that shit?
I didn't really like ICP. I kind of liked I guess they're on similar labels. Like I kind of like Tech Nine.
Yeah.
There was another one. What was it like? Twisted or something like that. It was okay.
Yeah.
So like I kinda a little bit. I guess I got into that a little bit because my friends were into it and shit. But ICP was never really one of my favorites.
You're never into that Juggalo stuff?
Not so much. No.
We should go to a Juggalo concert. Like they're apparently like hippie, like a fucking Woodstock, but with lots of Cheetos and soda.
Yeah, it's a bunch of like really crazy people, but they're like, "Hey man, are you thirsty? Here's a Faygo. Have a nice day." You're like, "I don't know. Thanks." I don't know what to make of this situation. You're really like angrily nice to me.
It would be interesting for sure. I'd probably be scared of my mind, but yeah, it would be a good time.
Go there wearing like suit and tie and ask everyone if they have a moment to talk about Jesus Christ. Oh my God, they'd all say yes. Too loud. Then we'd actually have to like make up something. That'd be horrible.
I shouldn't have brought up ICP, dude.
There's a story in the Bible where Jesus is making cookies and he sets the house on fire.
What's this shit here?
I don't think that's true.
That's the miracle song.
I see miracles every day, ocean spanning beyond my sight, and a million stars way above them at night. You don't have to be high to look in the sky and know that's a miracle. Open wide. Look at them.
You don't have to be high to look in the sky, even though like most of our albums are about getting fucked up on crack and pot and everything else. But that's but you don't have to do that. You can just look up at the stars for free, kids. Little late for that message now, guys.
Yeah, a little late, pal. My uncle's been on crack since 1996, thanks to the great Malenko. Assholes. Got the memo out a little late, pal.
I know, we'll get a bunch of kids addicted to crack in our music, and then like 7 albums from now, we'll make them believe in Jesus.
Whoopsies.
It's brilliant. Disney's been doing that for fucking decades.
Little late now, fucking Shaggy.
Okay, just like I could just like some guy in like fucking prison somewhere. Oh fuck it! Now they tell me. Shit.
Are you enjoying the podcast? Just kidding. We know you are, and you're welcome. You're listening to Decentralize Now.
I know you said you had a ton of shit to talk about. What's been on your mind?
Not really like a ton of shit. Like I had some stuff written down. Like I had like one funny thing. The guy that washes dishes where I work, he's this Mexican dude. He speaks like he's like English is not his first language by any means, but he speaks enough like you can have a conversation with him. Like he speaks pretty good English. Well, this like lady filled in for him today, and she doesn't speak a lick of English. And I've never hated someone so much that I couldn't even communicate with. It was just really weird. Like she just kept giving me these shitty looks, and like I was like she kept getting in the way. I couldn't say anything to her because it's just like, Joe, get the fuck out of the way. And she's like, taco, and fucking, fuck am I gonna do? I don't know. It was just a really interesting situation. It was just a really, it was like tense. I could tell she either like knew or didn't like me either. If you just ever been around someone like that, you're like, oh wow, I haven't talked to you. I've literally walked in the room and I've just like felt your presence around me, and I just fucking hope you get hit by a car. I just don't like you.
They'll do that shit. Like they can definitely selectively speak English. Like if you ask him a question, I remember I worked at a store in an area we were both familiar with, and they were trying to get this Mexican lady to work on Saturday, and she was like, "Donde es? I don't know." And they kept trying to like translate. She just couldn't understand the phrase. You have to come in to work on Saturday. They'll definitely do that shit. I mean, it's an evolutionary tactic. I mean, I would do that shit.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I'd be like, sorry, I don't speak. That's the way it is, man.
Like, I wish I knew like enough Russian that I could make like put it together and make it sound like a sentence. Because people will talk to me a lot at work because I'm like right there. Like they're like, well, yeah, I have a question. And I'm like, fuck.
Aren't you like the manager or some shit? Like you're the guy in charge.
I'm like the guy on the grill. That's like pretty much it. I'm just the dude that cooks. That's everyone else has like other tasks to do. My job is just like I just fucking cook the shit. So I'm like right there, and they always want to ask me questions. So I'm like, I wish I could just go like, you know, just some fucking shit. And they're just like, oh fuck, he doesn't speak English.
Or I don't. You know what? There are people who like selectively speak English. Then there are people who think they speak English and don't. That's fucked up. That's really hard. Like,
I was watching like some documentary or something the other day, and it's so funny you said that because it's like some fucking Middle Eastern dude. He's like, okay, go with the thing in the hill, go around wheel and taco, and like it's just like saying words, but like they're not coherent together. Like they do not mean what he thinks he does, and he's just saying them like with the most confidence you ever heard. And they had to put subtitles, but you could tell the subtitles were kind of suggestive. You know what I mean?
It's like a general idea of what this guy's trying to say.
Like
you know,
other people were very slow with their talking, or you know, they would use English when they could, and then when they couldn't, they'd speak their native language. This guy was just fucking like balls to the wall. I'm in it. Just go.
That's annoying. Oh man, work, man. You know, I do what I do, and I guess this isn't really political. It's kind of life shit, but it's like I do what I do. It's paying the bills. You know, I'm making good money. I just don't give a shit. And I don't know if that's just a me thing or if it's a millennial thing, but I got a buddy who works next to me. Worked at the same company for 20 years. He's god awful at his job. He's terrible. And he's done the same job for at least maybe like 16 years, but well over a decade and a half. And he's god awful. He's miserable. He's terrible. The managers hate him. During like our annual review, because I sit, you know, close to a manager, essentially. My desk is close. I can overhear some of this shit. And they were like, so have you ever thought about, you know, something else that you could do outside of our company? Like maybe, you know, with another job. Like they're trying to push this person out because every year, if you just stay there, you're going to get an annual increase to your pay. So there comes a point
he's starting to collect some money. He's starting to get some cash.
Exactly. So there comes a point where it's like you don't make the company any money. You are bad for our business. You need to go. So everyone hates him, and they're actively trying to pressure him to leave. But they can't fire him, but they can make him quit if they just treat him like a dick. But he's done that for over a decade and a half, and he goes to work every day. Meanwhile, I haven't had a job for more than 2 years in a row. I'm like 30. I mean, I'm very old, getting old, and I'm already getting burned out. I'm getting bored. I don't know, man. Is that?
I do the same thing, dude. Like I hate my jobs. I hate both my jobs. I don't want to do that shit anymore. I just like doing the same thing, the same job all the time. Like I think that's why I like the landscaping and being outside, because it's the same type of stuff, but it's different, you know, or it's a different place you do it in. I mean, it's not the exact same thing all the time, as opposed to like, dude, I stand there and I cook food, and then more food orders come in and I cook food, and it's just repeat. Like it's not challenging. There's no thought to it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's mindless, endless shit work, and I get paid fucking pretty shitty for it. I mean, good enough.
Didn't you say that employer was giving you like a better wage or some shit like that?
No, I did not.
No, really? Oh, did they end up not giving what they said they were going to give or something?
Yeah, they're supposed to give me some more money after I'd been there for a while, but I'm gonna wait till summertime. It's been really slow. It's been really slow.
Tell me about that. How did that shit happen? You think they played you, or is it real?
No, I don't think they played me.
Okay.
I think it's all good. I think it's all good. I just don't want to do it. I just don't want to do it.
And I'm just thinking, like, damn, I've only done this for, like, I just finished my first year. I'm going into my second year, and I'm already fucking done. I'm fucking done. So hopefully, I don't know, man. Do you think that creates the normie? Like, the normie is such a mindless, careless person because they have to do the same shit over and over. It's like you have to stop thinking, or else it'll drive you fucking crazy. You know what I mean? You have to sedate your mind in order to survive.
That's really interesting. Yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Because it's like I think all the time. I constantly think. Like, I can't turn it off. Like, I'll be at fucking work talking about
the finders.
Just, yeah, dude. Like, no joke. Straight up.
Right, yeah.
Just, like, weird shit. Like, it's like I try and tell, like you can't do this in public. Busted, you can't do this in public. You can't talk about these things in public. And then the next thing you know, I'm, like, yelling at 3 people about like, some sort of, like, fucking order of the 9 angles, the finders, the goddamn government's run by aliens. You know, just, like, all this fucking government's like, God damn it. Like, I just can't not let my crazy out. But,
it adds meaning.
You know, my wife is like that, though. Like, she gets, or she says she does, gets a lot of, I guess, fulfillment from her job. And she doesn't like to talk about politics and, you know,
yeah, it's like that.
We should take mushrooms this weekend, and she doesn't want to do that stuff. You know, that's a busted thing.
She doesn't want to do mushrooms?
Oh, well, I mean, I was being extreme to make a point.
Oh, I thought she seemed like the type that might be into.
Oh yeah, she would. Yeah, fucking totally.
Free the people, free the markets. Decentralize now.
I've never done something like that, man. Describe the experience.
Well, it depends. There's different types of mushrooms. They all do pretty similar stuff. Some of the best trips I ever had were actually not the hardest trips I ever had. Do you remember Half Man Steve?
No.
His name wasn't Steve, but we all called him Half Man Steve because he would shave all the hair off of half his body.
Okay.
Like, eyebrows, head, arms, legs. I imagine other places, but he just shave all the. And we always called him Half Man Steve. Well, Half Man Steve, back when I was probably 18, something like that, 17.
Yep.
Was selling mushrooms, and he was taking the mushrooms he was selling. Well, I went to buy some because a friend, told me about it. So I buy some. Hey man, if you can help me sell this shit, I'll give you some. We can split the money, or I can just give you some mushrooms. I was like, fuck yeah. So for like 3 fucking days, I just took people back and forth to his house to fucking help him sell this mushrooms. And meanwhile, I'm just getting like this fucking giant fucking thing, dude. So like I'd eat mushrooms when I took someone there. I'd be like tripping and drop them off, fucking trip around for a while, take someone else to just like. Anyway, long story short, I'm just like tripping ass on mushrooms for like 3 fucking solid days, just eating a quarter here and an eighth here, and somebody give me a cap for fucking getting them some. That was the most intense. Because I've taken a lot of hallucinogens. I've taken acid. I haven't taken a massive amount of acid or anything. I definitely know people that have, like, my wife's taken way more acid than I have.
You think it affected her? Like, does that stuff, like the mushrooms and acid, does it stay with you?
Not like people say it does. People say, like, yeah. I mean, I think if anything, and I know I'm going to sound really 60s. Hippie.
Yeah. Well, that's just like 60s terror propaganda that you're gonna.
Like that. No, they don't. It doesn't stay with you. Like I would say, if anything, and I know I'm gonna sound like a fucking hippie here, like maybe some sort of like part of it stays with you, like spiritually in your mind, you know. Because I remember most of the trips I've had, and I've always had good ones. I never can remember having a bad trip. But the 3 days was the most intense, just because I got so far from reality. You know what I mean? Like I've tripped, and you know you're tripping, and you're aware that you're tripping. You know, like, oh man, this is fucking crazy. Like, you're still fucking wild and out of your head, but you're aware that like this is not the norm. But when you trip like that, you're just taking it constantly, eating it, and you never get, like, you just wake up, like, you go to sleep and you wake up and you're still fucking tripping and shit. Like, I got so far from reality that, like, it just felt like I was never coming back. You know what I mean? That was kind of a scary moment for a little while. Like, I remember calling a buddy on the phone and being like, I don't remember what I said to him, but he was like, "How fucking high are you right now? Like, like how much of what did you take?" And I told him, and he's like, "Stay where you are. I'm coming to get you." That definitely made things a little better, but that was definitely. I don't really know how to explain it. I really can't explain it. Just kind of like. Do you see things? Oh yeah, you see it. Like, I mean, I hear people say they see like shit that's not there, like monsters and creatures and shit. I never really have seen like anything too like, I've seen faces in the tree. Like, there was this one time, me and my buddy we were tripping. We tripped twice. We took like acid at the beginning of the week, and we took like mushrooms later in the week, because there had been like a hippie festival to come through town, and every time the hippie festival would come, all the psychedelics and shit would come through. Yeah. And we tripped on acid, and we saw this tree, and this tree looked like it had the face like it was a demon, like with devil horns and everything, looking up at the sky laughing. And we were like, what the fuck? And we just like kind of like called it the demon tree for the rest of the week. Well, then we were tripping on fucking shrooms like later on in the week, and we saw the demon tree again, like the same thing we saw when we were on fucking acid. So high as fuck on mushrooms, we went out there and chopped that fucking tree down.
Really? Dude?
Yeah, dude. Fucking that's just awesome. High as fucking old dull axe and fucking, oh man.
No, like what do you think? What do you think happened, man? Do you think that was like a residual thing or a memory, or do you take like this approach of like, no, you really can see that this spirit world?
I don't know. Like, it's always interesting, like tripping with a few friends, because every time I've done it, you all, like, I don't know if it's the power of suggestion or what, but you all kind of see the same shit. Like, yo, do you see that over there? You mean that basketball fucking a rabbit? I totally see that.
I remember we had experience like that. I mean, I've never done acid. I'm on edge enough as fucking flip out, dude. God, I can't imagine me on acid. That's terrible. I'm nervous just thinking about it, so I know if I do it, I'm gonna get more nervous, and I'm gonna freak out on acid.
I feel like,
but
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I feel like acid is like every 5-10 seconds, like, it's like a whole new adventure. Like, you feel different, everything's different, it all looks different. What the fuck is happening? It's just a total like constant, like, ha 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 ha. You know, shit's just always changing. As opposed, like, mushrooms, you're just like, this is fucking cool. I'm just gonna sit here in this hole in the ground for a while and watch the trees dance. Like, you can just sit in a moment on mushrooms. Acid, there is no moments. There's a ha 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 ha.
Yeah, well, that's the thing too. Is like time's different, isn't that right?
Yeah,
you don't experience time. Well, that's the thing. That we smoked weed once, and I remember we were going from one town. Yeah, well, there was one time up in and we were going from one town to another, and like we got in the car, and this was supposed to be like an hour and a half ride, because you were with some guy who was like a record label producer or some shit like that. I think it was, I'm not gonna say his name in the podcast. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know you're talking.
Anyway, we get in the truck, and then all of a sudden, like, he turns the key, and then I'm like, "Holy shit, we're here! We're here!" Like, I remember looking at you guys like, does it feel like we just left? And everybody starts, you guys got busted out laughing, because it was like, you're like, yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. that weird kind of like, that collective experience was weird, because it's like, yeah, dude, we got in the car, we turned the keys, we drove, and then we were there. We were an hour and a half in the future. Like, time just melted. I don't know where it went. So what? That's just so interesting. How do those shared experiences come about? It's interesting stuff.
It's funny too, because like we're stoned, so like I pretty much remember like he had a big sound system in his truck, so like I just remember like spacing out, like listening to music and shit, like not even like it wasn't even like we were having like much conversation or anything. Yeah, it's just like
Yeah, nothing.
It's been like 2
What's
hours.
up?
Don't you feel like we just left? Like holy fuck. It's funny too. Like I feel like I smoke a lot, so like I feel like I don't have those kind of experiences as often anymore. Probably because I have
Build a tolerance.
Yeah, a big tolerance. But I can remember that. I can remember one time I was walking down the road with a buddy when I was like really young, like probably like 15 or some shit, and it was like 12, 15 houses down the road. Like it wasn't like we were walking far. I just remember getting like halfway down the road and being like, dude, I feel like we've been walking for 3 hours. He's like, dude, I know. Like it just felt like we were walking and standing in the same spot. Like we weren't making any ground.
Dude, the demon tree. That's some interesting shit.
Yeah, we cut that fucker down.
Because it was like, it wasn't like a demon. It was like an evil presence.
Yeah. And it's just looking up at the sky, like with this like laughing kind of face, like frozen in like this face that was like clearly laughing, you know.
Dude, that's terrifying. Like when you saw that, were you like scared of it, or what did you feel?
Holy fuck, that's a demon tree. We just called it the demon tree, but then when we saw it on a different type of hallucinogen, like a fucking not even a week later, we were like, fuck, that thing's gotta go.
Oh man.
Yeah, the stuff I had written down, I don't know if it's been kind of... Most of these episodes have been kind of light and breezy.
Yeah, not a lot of stuff. I mean, I've got to get back into reading. I just don't... I spend my time, like, I come home... I'm giving up my dog. I'm trading my dog away because I don't have the time. I don't have time to take care of the dog. You know what I mean? I don't have time. So we started this project. I was researching. I was reading shit. You know, I'm not really reading any classical literature, you know, books on economics like I used to. So I don't really have a lot to say. It's dangerous. The normie trap is real. You know what I mean? You can just work and work and work, and then that becomes your life, and you kind of lose who you are. And I don't know, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No, I don't think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
You think you've heard it all? You haven't heard shit. Stick around for more Decentralize Now.
Nigel Farage is the shit. There's not just a right-wing resurgence in America. It's actually across the world. You know, Brazil has Bolsonaro. There was Marine Le Pen, who almost won in France. Italy has become very right-wing. And in England, they had Brexit. So Brexit's been going on for a while. England basically just said, yeah, fuck you to the EU. We're going to do our own shit. And we're going to essentially have very strict terms on immigration. And Brexit has finally gone through. So there was one final EU speech. And I want you to watch this because what happens at the end was fucking crazy. Just one moment while I pull it up. Sorry about that.
Across the West, in Europe, America, and elsewhere. It is globalism against populism. And you may loathe populism, but I tell you a funny thing, it's becoming very popular. And it has great benefits. No more financial contributions. No more European Court of Justice. No more common fisheries policy. No more being talked down to. No more being bullied. No more Guy Verhofstadt. I mean, what's not to like? I know you're going to miss us. I know you want to ban our national flags, but we're going to wave you goodbye. And we'll look forward in the future to working with you as sovereign.
If you disobey the rules, you get cut off. Could we please remove the flags?
Did they seriously cut him off?
They cut him off because he waved his country's flag.
What a fucking twat.
Yeah, I guess they banned national flags in the EU. Like, that's how bad that shit got. Like, I don't follow European politics. I'm not in Europe. But in the European Union, you can't wave your country's flag. So that's why Brexit was so important. They're saying, no, fuck that. We're a country. We're a people. We want to continue. We want our flag. We want our history. We are different than other people. We want to continue to survive. And the EU is all about just ruining all that shit. We're just Europeans now. It's the European Union. And also, no connection to these beautiful ancient cultures. It's all, everyone is a European. And Brexit, they pulled Brexit off, and they were able to. But I got so fucking pissed. Like, she's angry. She is angry that Nigel was waving the British flag. How fucked up is that?
Well, it makes sense, dude. I mean, we're not individual countries. We're one unit. Like, that's, I don't know. That sounds beautiful, but like, that's, if you know what's going
disgusting.
on, it's so scary.
Just play the rest of that shit. She flips out.
Mr. Farage, could we remove the flags, please?
That's it. It's all over. Finished.
It's like, I don't have to answer to you anymore, bitch.
Could I please ask for quiet? I'm really... Please sit down, resume your seats, put your flags away, you're leaving, and take them with you if you are leaving now. And
Holy shit! I didn't know take your flags with you. Fuck you, boy. That's like the European Nancy Pelosi.
They're fucking
if
clapping
I may
for it.
say,
Like, get the
just
fuck
in a
out of
slight
here.
reference, the word hate was used in the last contribution. And I really think, given what we listened to prior to this, that we should not hate anyone or any nation or any people.
Fucking bullshit.
Jesus Christ, dude. And like, they were all back, and they all liked what she had to say.
That's great. Yeah, Brexit's racist. Rah, rah, rah. If you want a sovereign country, it's because you're a racist. Rah, rah, rah.
That is the go-to. That's the go-to thing now.
She pulled the
You
racist
disagree with
card.
me, you're a racist.
Well, it is. I mean, Adam Kokesh came on the program, and he said he's got great optimism. Does it seem like government's actually decentralizing? Or maybe there are some rays of hope on the horizon. I think Brexit was a great start. That's decentralization. Now, decisions for England are being made by England and not by the centralized authority of the European Union.
Well, I love it too. He's like, now you can't nickel and dime us with your bullshit fucking fees to be part of your little club. How you like that, bitch?
We need some shit like that. Hopefully some shit like that can happen at the state level. But I feel like back in prior to the Confederacy, that's how states were. States were almost like countries that would band together in a time of war, but they pretty much governed themselves. And I think we lost a lot of that autonomy with the Union taking over. Now everything's kind of controlled.
I hate that that's like, what's the Civil War about? Well, it's about slavery. No, it's not. It's about the state's fucking, the state's ability to govern itself versus a unified government that runs everything. That's what it was fucking about.
Yeah,
the North was pissed off they weren't making any tax dollars off the slaves the fucking Southerners had, if you want to fucking be blunt about it.
Yeah, it's not like they were all like, non-racist.
No, that's what I'm saying, dude. It's a shame. I mean, what do you think America would have been like if the fucking South won?
Dude, there's a movie. Spike Lee wrote this movie.
Yeah, I bet it's racist as fuck. I don't know. It
was a bunch of commercials. It was trying to recreate like what it would have been like watching commercials if the South had won, and it was like an insurance company that was like, protect your home, protect your house, and your property, and it's scanned from like his house to his car to like this black guy, he's all happy, trimming the bushes or whatever. He was just trying to show like what would have happened if the South had won. I mean, that's a catch-22 because like fucking slavery's god awful. Slavery's fucking terrible. I don't like that shit. But at the same time, the Confederates had a far better system of government. So let me ask you that. Go ahead.
I don't know. I feel like slavery is one of those things that would have eventually been done, gotten rid of anyway. I don't know. I don't have a fucking good answer for this. I don't have just
shooting shit.
Yeah. I didn't ask because I had anywhere to go with it.
You've listened to this and now you're offended. Send your hate mails to we don't give a fuck at decentralizenowpodcast.com.
You're currently listening to the best podcast in the whole fucking universe.
Decentralize Now.
It was really kind of like, it was important to me to put that message out on the Facebook.
Before that certain someone came on?
Well, more because of the fucking backlash we got from that one fucking douchebag.
Oh, with the chick?
Was it a chick? The one that was like
trying to get me fired?
No. He's like, he had to be a fake libertarian. He had to be a fake libertarian or some shit, man. He's like talking about like hate speech, pretty much saying hate speech isn't free speech, and if you believe in free speech, but you give people that speak hate speech a platform to speak their views, then you are as bad as them. I was just like, that's the most hypocritical thing. How can you be for free speech, but selective free speech? Like, if you're going to select what information you share because it pushes your agenda, you may not be physically removing the information from something or burning the book, so to speak, but we're just splitting hairs at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, his name's Brian Ellison, and he's actually a major figure in the Libertarian Party circle.
Really?
And
he's a douche.
He is. He was a douchebag. He blocked me. It shows what a libertarian he was. But yeah, he was going on about if you give a platform, or if you give a voice for Nazis on your platform, you are not a proponent of free speech. And my comment was just fuck you, fuck that whole your hate speech isn't free speech. And I remember exactly because I fucking burned him. That's why he had to fucking block me. I rocked this motherfucker. And then he responded with, "What's the matter, Rod? What's the matter, Chemtrail? What, you think you won't be able to speak? Like, kind of like, what's the matter? What, are you some sort of Nazi? Huh? That's what cops do. Well, what's the matter? You won't let me search the car? Well, what do you got? Something?
Yeah, what's in the car that you won't let me fucking search it?"
So it's just libertarian using a cop argument from like the fucking drug war. Like, fuck you. So and then he said that shit, and I said something like, proponents of free speech vehemently defend the rights for speech and don't spend a lot of time worrying what other people do with their property and who they let speak. You know what I mean? Your fucking principles are completely out of whack. And he responded with, "How does the free market police bad actors?" And then I said, "How does a hypocrite change the subject?" And then I started getting some likes and shit. People were like, "That was pretty good, got you there." And it just fucking spiraled out of control, and he didn't have anything to say. And the anti-file will do this shit where they'll laugh, react to your comment. You know what I mean? Just to mock you. They don't have anything to say. I'm sure flat earthers do the same thing. They'll just laugh, react to your comments. So
yes, exactly.
He had no arguments. Yeah, he had nothing to say. He's fucked up. I think anti-fa has infiltrated the L. I really
dude,
do.
He didn't even deny it. He didn't even deny it when I got into it. When I got into it with him, I said he said something about what was it? God damn, I can't remember the exact thing that he said.
Did he block you too?
I was like, dude, why don't you go join Antifa? And he was like, well, I am anti-fascist, aren't you? And I was like, I'm anti telling other people what the fuck they should do and think, and what and judging them for it.
Fucking hate that guy. That's it. You know what I mean? It makes you think. Like, do I want to spend time here in the Libertarian Party?
But here's the thing I posted on the wall. I want to read that because I feel like it's a good plug too. Here at Decentralize Now, we believe wholeheartedly in free speech, and we believe free speech extends to everyone and everything. I personally can't stand the term hate speech because hate speech, in quotations, is still free speech. Long story short, if you're part of a group, organization, program, or society that is often cast aside or ignored because of your personal truths, we want to hear from you. Are you a Nazi? Are you a Black Panther? Black Lives Matter activist? One of them good old boys in the KKK? Are you a Zionist Jew, a hippie in a commune? Do you run your own cult, or are you in a cult? Are you a felon? Are you a cop? Are you mad at your dad and just want to blow off some steam? Well, Decentralize Now wants to give you a platform to speak your mind, even if you're a goddamn flat earther. Contact us for more information, and remember, free people, free markets. Decentralize Now.
Fucking love it.
I could have done radio.
Well, hey, sorry if this wasn't the best episode. I should have some shit prepared to say. You know.
Yeah, this one's a little dry. This one's a little dry.
I gotta get a little meaty for next time.
What should we call this episode?
Fuck you, it's free.
Overcooked beef, because it's so dry.
Sorry, dude. I feel like I let you down tonight, man.
I feel like I was a letdown, dude. Like, I haven't done any of my research either. I could have talked about the fucking impeachment fucking hearing a little more. I mean, I don't feel like I was very engaging, and I apologize.
Yeah, we got out of the whole Finders shit, which took us for a little while. It's some great episodes. So now we got to kind of find a focus.
That shit scared me to death. It scared me to my fucking core. I'll never be the same after reading some of that shit. And then reading all the FBI documents on it, like from FBI.com, like a fucking asshole, or .gov, I went there, read the actual documents, and in the documents it straight up says that they let them go. They arrested them and then let those people go. They were never prosecuted. They never saw jail time.
Why's that?
I guess because of their affiliation. They had some sort of affiliation with like the FBI or CIA or some fucking shit like that. They were somehow involved with very powerful people, and they just let them go.
Damn.
Some sort of bullshit technicality. I can't remember exactly right now. I have it saved on my phone. I could actually find it, but another time.
That's fucking terrifying, dude.
Yeah, and then I told you the fucking article I fucking read the other day. That's when I was like, I'm getting to these moments where like I keep reading this stuff and I'm getting really like scary, angry, and like I just feel numb and I don't know what to do, and like I'm scared and I'm pissed, and I feel helpless. It's fucking horrible. I'll never be the same after that shit ever.
That's the thing. Researching that shit, you feel helpless after a period of time. And it's just you can't.
And it makes you so aware. You hear about missing kids and shit like that. You hear about this stuff, but like it doesn't sink in. But like after looking into all that, every fucking thing I come across that has anything to do with like a child missing or an abduction or anything, like I'm so focused on it, and now I notice them all the time. I feel like it's like one of the main things I see on like social media and shit. Is like pedophile, like cop does this, or 3-year-old gets fucking stolen, and horrible things happen, you know. It's every fucking where. Like don't want to say I've scared my wife into getting a gun, but like even she's like, yeah, we need to get something
in case some shit happens.
Yeah, like we're definitely gonna get a shotgun. Just like I want something for her to have when I'm not home. You know.
Let me ask you this,
and then I'll probably get an AR because I want a rifle.
They're fun.
I kind of want a 9mm. They make ones that are 9mm. The 9mm.
Oh, a 9mm AR.
Yeah.
Oh, badass.
Yeah, it's a lot cheaper ammo.
That's true. The lady, we found a daycare, and it's here. We couldn't find daycare. We have no family. We can't. She says my son has nowhere to go, so he goes to the daycare, and when he's at the daycare, like the woman who runs it now lives there, and all I can think of is like, is this bad shit happening? What's going on? Are you guys making videos while I'm gone? You know, what the fuck's going on? And I don't want to think like that, but I have to. You know what I mean? He seems really happy.
Don't you?
You know,
don't you think that makes you a better parent that you think of those things?
I think it does. So I mean, it's terrifying, but I mean that shit's real, so it's good that we're aware of it. You know what I mean? To be proactive. And I thought about it because like I had this babysitter and I would drop him off, and I would knock on the door, and she would take a long ass time to get to the door, and every time, and I'm like, why is it taking you so long? Well,
what are you putting away and hiding?
Dude, I just got chill down my fucking spine. Fuck.
Dude, I don't want to say I feel kind of bad. I've talked about before. My wife kind of did some work with Child Protective Services and some jobs kind of like that. Anyway, and she saw bad stuff, and she is aware of what's out there. So like when I started talking about like the finders and
she didn't want to hear
Jeffrey
it.
Epstein and sex cults and Moloch and all this kind of stuff, like I expected her to kind of like kick me back with the same kind of like, save it for the podcast, you and your conspiracies. And she didn't give me any of that. Not once. Not talking about anything like that. Has she ever been like, you're crazy or that doesn't happen? I mean, she's seen some of that stuff firsthand, some of the evils that are out there, some of the horrible things. She's told me stories that like I will never repeat. Because they have fucking scarred me internally. They're so horrible. And I will never repeat those stories. They are so bad.
God damn.
So she's seen that. And I know you gotta go, man. I'm sorry. I'm ranting. But, kind of like, I said on the Black Bald podcast, if anything's ever, if anything's gotten me close to not being religious, but believing in some sort of like good and evil, like kind of heaven and hell, I guess, kind of scenario, so to speak, it's been researching this stuff and realizing the depths of evil, like the vastness of fucking evil, how deep it can go. Like, you're like, murder is horrible, rape is horrible, rape and murder together is like, it can get so bad, is all I'm saying. Like when you think you've heard the worst thing you've ever heard in your life, like something worse comes along. And just to think that anyone could, I know people have issues and there's mental issues and maybe medicine's involved or drugs, but just that anyone could like do some of these things and be there in the moment for it happening and still go through and do more horrible shit than they're already doing. Like, that's insane to me. It's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying. And I don't know. I guess maybe that's where the kind of belief or faith part comes in, because it's like I can't imagine that type of evil existing like in just a person. So it has to be otherworldly. There has to be some other force at hand to do something just so full of hate for no reason other than just fucking hurting a person. I don't know. That it's scary on a different level. And when you see how deep it goes and how high up in politics and everything else it goes, it's all over Hollywood. Yeah. And then it's like pretty much accepted by elites and billionaires alike. And there's nothing you can do because you make $20,000 a year. And now they want to, and now that we know it, they want to take our guns away. And everyone asks why I'm paranoid.